Looks like apple juice.
What?
All right. Looks like we're live. Welcome to the Tapewurms Podcast.
Hey.
Hello. We're here. We're here live. You can see us for the first time. We're here with Federico from Sunset Couriers. He's back. Welcome him back, guys.
Back in black.
Yeah. We just need some we need a soundboard.
Sound bites.
Yeah, soundboard. That's for next live episode. But yeah, we have Fred here, and we're really excited. He's back on the show. Gonna just make it an even better episode this time. Gonna talk about a bunch of stuff. Today is May 9th, 2019. It's about 7:22 p.m. We're here live. We have a band here. I'm Anthony. We have another special guest.
I'm Harmon. I'm from the first podcast, future attorney. I was a guy who spoke on the benefits of being sober, and now I am completely drunk and high. So thank you.
Great introduction.
Thank you for being here, Carmen.
And then we have
And hey, howdy. I'm pretty sure y'all know me. Howdy. Ramon, by the way.
Ramon. And we have in this beautiful cowboy hat.
I'm also here, and we should include a section of the podcast. It's called Ask Harmon, and it's for legal help.
Oh, yeah. I'm not a lawyer yet. None of this advice counts, by the way.
So we usually start off the show with a conspiracy theory. Do you have that set up?
Yeah, give me a second. Let me fill up.
Ramon is currently filling up his vape, so
this is more.
He's gonna let you know what the conspiracy theory is.
I'm gonna put the stream on.
The conspiracy
our
is
Twitter.
about vapes, by the way. It's a vape conspiracy, I'm assuming.
It's fine. People still vape.
You're funny, bro.
2019.
People still smoke.
Oh shit! He got you on that.
I don't even smoke. You still got me somehow. It was just such a great comeback.
It's just
You
like,
got anyone?
are you
Nobody.
so outdated that you don't vape, dude, or fucking jewel? You're the one outdated. You got to be jeweling right now, man. That's the move.
I used to jewel.
People who jewel are fucking addicted, man. They got to step out of class just to hit that thing.
For real.
Yeah,
That's a whole nother level.
What about you, Fred? What do you think about jewels?
Whatever, man. I
don't have.
feel like, aren't they?
People got Louis Vuitton, Gucci jewels. You know that shit? Louis
Oh,
V sells
really?
jewels. They got the Louis V design on the jewels.
Honestly, man, it sounds more like a social status. Like, hey, I could afford this. I mean, the more.
Yeah, they are.
Because I read an article, because, I do work in education. And I read an article just like, how can I get these students to respect me? I was reading some random article because it was related to, like, I don't know. I was thinking about going to school, back to school as a school counselor. But anyways, I read that, and the chick, like, she was just like, those water canisters, they're like a status symbol. It was weird. So she brought like a brand new one,
Like
really nice
hydro
one.
flask.
There you go, man. And she brought in, like, there's a little impact. There you go. And it was just like, it made her seem a little bit more professional. And it's just like jewels.
Yeah, everyone's trying to flex. It's weird. You're right. Yeah.
Which is kind of cool, but it's like, it's not the entirety of life,
Sometimes you just gotta flex,
Yeah. Sometimes.
I could see flexing, like if, let's say, like in your case, like if you feel like it affects your dignity, to like buy all these things just to flex. Sometimes it doesn't affect your dignity if you flex for leverage, because you're just playing these people, Like, oh yeah, they think I'm cool just because I brought this hydro flask, but I really don't care at all. It's a leverage flex.
Leverage flex?
Yeah.
Is that the new term?
Yeah.
All right.
I don't
roll with
flex. You
that.
actually.
But
really
hey, hold
wanna
on.
flex.
Let me do that up and do a solid on you. Why do you care what people think in the first place?
Ooh,
Isn't that a sign of
that's the perfect part of the
self-esteem
leverage
weakness?
flex, though.
Isn't that a sign of weakness?
No, it's the beauty of it is that if you are doing the flex not for a leverage flex, it is a sign of weakness because you're doing it for your self-esteem.
Yeah.
But a leverage flex is to get ahead. So
we all want to get ahead.
Yeah, and
we all want to grow and expand.
that's just
Wait, so
it's moving up.
I'm so confused.
I'm
I'm
Man,
kind of
I'm ready.
You
I'm
guys-
ready
So
to
who
dissect
supports
it.
this leverage?
All right,
flex?
it's like
go all in.
you're in an interview and you bust out your hydro flask. For some reason, this elevates your status to the interview person. And I'm
right,
like,
right.
maybe
No,
this person.
that's
like,
why you show up in a nice suit to an
yeah, it's like a
Same
nice suit.
reason.
It's a leverage flex. You're not just flexing just because it makes me feel nice that I'm in a suit. And I
Isn't
want
that the
people to
whole
think
point of
better
a
about me.
flex? That's the whole point of a flex.
Well, if you're flexing,
All
to-
flexes are leverage flexes.
not if the person is in a position to help you leverage yourself. If you're just flexing to a bunch of people who don't really matter that much, then it's
Okay,
you're just
yeah,
flexing
okay,
for the sake
right,
of flexing.
right,
But if
right.
you're like flexing in an interview setting, you're
That's
flexing
a
for leverage flex.
Okay.
I sort of understand. I get that.
That's my seminar right now.
So then are jewels a flex to big tobacco? Or just old smokers, people who smoke regular
Yeah,
Yeah,
jewels
okay.
are totally a flex to old smokers.
No, I
would say.
saw like a middle-aged person hitting a jewel like near the bank one day. I was like, that looks so weird. Like, why would a middle-aged person be hitting a jewel? And that's because it's just are accustomed to the younger folk hitting jewels, and it is kind of a flex, I think. Like it kind of
That's not a leverage.
it separates them as being youthful in a way.
It's not a leverage flex. That's a generation flex, don't you think?
Yes.
That's like a generational flex.
Which it's kind of cool.
But that's like I'm hip
Yeah.
and you're not hip.
Well, I mean, we always looked at like when I was 13, I'm like, fuck, all the older people, they smoke and drink. And I'm like, that's interesting. So maybe like having that at a younger age would be like kind of like, all right, cool, I'm an adult too, whether you think I'm not, you know? I just saw a video about this where it's just like the brain after like 25, that's becomes more and more of an adult brain, but it could last up until like, you could have a teenage brain up until maybe your mid 20s, but that's just developmental, you know? It's interesting, dog. It's like cool, you know?
Definitely. Developmental psychology.
Yeah,
It's a
that's a
real thing.
huge thing. I don't know much about it, but our friend Freddie, he's taking a course on that.
Yeah.
I took a course on it.
Wait, so then all right, back to conspiracies.
Okay.
I
Okay.
kind of have one here.
I
Okay.
also
Have you guys seen the anti-vaping commercials?
I've
Yeah.
seen some. I don't.
Oh,
yeah,
Have
yeah.
you ever noticed how they're like really, they try to be really funny and in touch with like the youth and like witty and shit? I don't know if you've seen that.
Yeah, they do. They tend to be like a little like try to pander to millennials in a way.
Yeah. I kind of feel like big tobacco's behind all that. And I don't know how what do you guys feel?
I mean, there's someone behind it, and
Can we follow the money?
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, it's weird because even with Juul, like they have anti-youth vaping. There's like a lobby against anti-vaping, but it's only a fraction of, say, it's like $10 million allocated towards that. All the other money they're making is straight profit. Like it's like a lump sum they're just allocating to that when they're not doing their best. I think. I mean, if they really wanted to stop youth
Underage
from
smoking.
hitting Juuls all the time, they just wouldn't make them. I mean, that's not necessarily true, but I don't know. It's
So then it's big tobacco behind Juuls.
I think Juul is from San Francisco, right?
I think it's
wherever
Just some
they're
young
from.
guys,
Some
or
young
gals. I think they just came out on. I don't even. I'm probably lying right now, but I'm pretty sure they just came out like on Times Magazine or something, like one of the most influential people, the people from Juul.
I'm pretty sure it's like a Bay thing started.
Yeah.
Maybe. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Big Tobacco was behind it, and they're all just part of a big whole nicotine industry.
Mhm.
And when you're really trying to quit, it's
I mean, in defense of big tobacco here, there is no tobacco in Juuls. So how are they making any fucking money?
Well, he said
nicotine. It's big
Right, there's
nicotine.
nicotine, right?
It's big nicotine.
But the
Big
tobacco guys aren't really making any money off the tobacco.
Sure,
people.
yeah,
And
tobacco.
that's why they
it's-
want to turn people
well-
away from vaping, right?
Well, the
Oh,
thing
yeah,
is,
yeah,
if you're
yeah,
a tobacco farmer, obviously you're anti-Juul. But
Yeah,
if you're
right,
big
right.
tobacco, aka big nicotine, You probably want to keep anyone within that loop.
What about the
of-
jewel farmers?
Yeah, what about the jewel
There's no
farmers?
farmers. That's all factory. That's in a factory. There's nothing organic about it.
You know what? If in the defense of the vaping industry, if we'll have long-term studies in the future that show that vaping really is as safe as we kind of like. Right now, everyone's the guinea pigs.
Right.
Like smoking, you get the issues from long-term use, and it can be the case with vaping. It's long-term use that leads to issues. So if that does end up being the case, that really there aren't many long-term issues, then this will actually end up being like one of the greatest inventions of our time, because so many people that die from cigarette smoking
Right.
are
I
gonna-
agree with you, but that's the thing. You just don't know.
Yeah, it's gonna. We're the guinea
We
pig.
do not
program.
know. Yeah.
We're the.
No
Doesn't that-
idea.
does that
man.
scare you?
Yeah.
I don't even know how they make the liquid.
It could fucking
Yeah,
give
me
you
neither.
fucking prostate cancer for all we know.
Yeah. That's the thing. I'm tending to feel like it can't be that good for you. It's all bad for you. Whatever you inhale inside you, it's gonna cause harm. It's not like
Right. If you abuse it. That's the thing. If you do it in moderation, I'm sure it's just like everything else. But the thing is,
Yeah.
people
Just
abuse the
my
fuck out of this.
My late night jewel.
I know people who fucking they leave the classroom just to fucking hit their jewel, man. They're fucking addicted.
Well, I mean, the rise of because what does that lead to, man? Like smoking, drinking, like weed, jewels.
It leads to mental health issues.
It's
Well,
the FBD.
What's
It
FBD?
Full-blown
leads to a
depression.
release.
At least to a release
Yeah.
of what? Of full blown depression?
No. Well, that could no, it's like man, I'm losing my tracks, but it's like a release, man. Think about all the tension you keep in your body, and it's like it has to go somewhere, and sometimes you get those release, and I was just reading somewhere and because I'm an educator, kids are stressed out, man. Like everyone's just stressed out. The increase of like being stressed out and stress, it's like popped up, dog. So everyone's like feeling that stress over the last couple of years, and it's just why
It
is
just
that?
caused an explosion in my head. What you just said.
Yeah,
It's weird.
It's
more
like-
stress.
Like you got kids, you got people. They start doing drugs, doing things, and we're like, well, let's keep that away from them because it's not good for them. But in each case, it's what he's saying. It's people are looking for an ease of stress, some relief.
There's no easy way out of this, man.
No, but I'm saying
you do some fucking
That's
lines
just
of
the
coke
case.
and marijuana, and you get
But-
hooked, and then
No,
you
but
got
like,
another problem. and
the
deal with it.
question is like why we're not attacking the source is what I'm saying.
Yeah, why is the stress increased so much, right?
Social media, I would say social media is a big one because you're always looking at everyone else doing all their
Yeah.
cool shit, and it's like, oh
Definitely.
shit, what the fuck am I doing?
Self-consciousness.
That's a
or
huge.
self-awareness.
We have never been this
yeah.
connected, and no one's posting their bad shit onto social media.
It's very curated, and it's like you only want to show.
Like, oh,
the
I
best
got this
version of yourself.
internship, or I got this job, or I got this score.
Well,
on
yeah,
a
you don't
test.
want to broadcast the bad stuff.
Yeah, no one ever does, and all you look on your phone is your fucking bad. That's why I fucking mute all the notifications on my phone. Like it's all. all
You just carry a brick with you.
I pretty much
always
do.
on airplane
I
mode.
fucking- yeah. No, yeah. Try it for a week and see how much more at peace you feel.
Well,
All right.
At least you'll have the memes. You'll be like, all right.
Yeah,
it's not your main thing.
The memes are the release.
Yeah.
It's like all the
that's it.
people's like dark thoughts, all that is what leaks into the memes because they're anonymous. It's like you don't post all
The
bad
memes
things
are real,
about it.
man, because they're anonymous.
Yeah.
Exactly. But when you put your name behind it, you want it to be good,
All right, so let's segue into memes, into music.
I got a conspiracy theory before.
All right,
it's
let's-
sort of going into music.
All right, go.
All right,
Go for it.
Okay, so they're both about Beyonce. That's music.
Yeah.
she just came out with the Netflix special.
Oh, this shit. Nice.
The theory is that you can always tell what her next baby's name is going to be based on the jewelry she uses. She hides the hidden clues within it. And I didn't fact check this at all, so it sounds stupid as hell. But apparently, she's also hooking up with Obama.
Apparently.
All right,
Those are the
okay.
two conspiracy theories
What
of
the
the
fuck
day.
is going on?
Obama? Isn't
Yeah.
she with Jay-Z? Yo, Obama about to get fucking hit, bro. Like, you better be careful.
Some Reddit stuff.
I thought you loved
It's
You're
What happened to Michelle?
Where'd you see that?
What
Where'd
happened
you
to
see that?
Michelle?
I saw it on the internet. You're spreading dangerous rumors.
What happened to Michelle?
Where'd you see
This
that?
can be my boy. All right.
To quote Flight of the Conchords, if anyone ever saw that, I saw it on the internet. One of the trusted things of today.
Yo, fake
Yeah.
news. Fake news.
Fake. I'm calling fake news, and I'm saying you can leave for that comment because Beyonce
It's
would
a
never.
conspiracy, all right?
Beyonce would never cheat on Jay-Z.
I expected to be persecuted.
Jay-Z
for
would cheat on
revealing-
Beyonce, but Beyonce would never cheat on
Yeah.
Jay-Z. You
How-
understand that?
How dare you, Cesar? How dare you?
And Obama would never cheat on Michelle. You understand?
Jesus Christ was persecuted for speaking the truth. All right, that's all I have to say. Here.
All I have to say is if you come in here with another conspiracy theory of that stature, you're never having a conspiracy theory
I'm
again.
gonna start my own podcast about Beyonce.
Oh.
conspiracy theories.
Can I do a
It's
conspiracy
gonna be
theory?
5-minute episode.
Let me do one.
It's gonna be
Called
like-
Beyond.
You can't just come up with them on the fly. They have to
Okay.
be.
I fucking follow Alex Jones. You know who Alex
okay.
Jones is?
Yeah, I do.
I know a bunch of different conspiracy theories. Have you ever heard of the one where they're trying to make a breakaway civilization? All the tech people.
You know, man,
Oh,
my homie had a point though, and he was just like, a lot of people follow that guy, but everything was based around logic. And I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, yeah, man, like I don't fucking believe anything he says, but he makes some sound arguments, and they're logical, they connect. And I'm like, fuck, I never thought about that shit.
Exactly.
They're zany as fuck, dude.
Oh, it's
Some of those-
crazy. The arguments are crazy,
I
but
feel
if
like
you
everyone
think about
watches
them
him for the
critically,
memes, though. Like,
oh yeah, he's
90%
meme
of
central.
his followers.
He's
is
meme
people that are
central.
just
Don't get me wrong. He's meme central. But think about it just clearly for a second. Don't you think Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, and those guys, they're not making like their own fucking civilization that they want to get away from? Like, are you kidding me? They're making space fucking shit. They're doing space shit. They're doing fucking technology shit. Who knows what they're up to over there, man?
Yeah, with that level of money, do a lot of things.
Dude,
I know, I
fucking
would start my own company.
fucking meet Musk. He made his own song. You heard of that? Harambe shit?
Harambe,
Are you
that's
guys
such a meme, dude.
Are you guys
That
a little
is-
scared about that shit? Like
That's
fucking
a big meme.
Yeah,
Elon Musk wrote a
Harambe.
song called Harambe.
He didn't write it, but he's like, it's his
AI.
record label. It's his record label that he posted on Twitter one day, and it's like, this is my new hit song, and it was someone wrote it, and he didn't sing on it, but it was like under his label.
All right, new
Kinda.
conspiracy theory.
Hey man, but I saw something where it's like, how come no one said April Fools? How come no one's posting shit? And it's just like someone had this meme where it was just like, Elon Musk just dropped a track, and there was like 2 other things that happened around the same time. They're like, no one wants to joke around anymore, man. The world's too fucking weird.
It's too
It's
real.
just like, who wants to be like, oh, I'm just kidding? It's like, it's like,
Yeah, it's
There's
like
some
in
zany
this
shit,
era of
dude.
fake news, it's like every day you have to question whether it's real or not.
Yeah,
It's like-
exactly.
To Armin's point on the whole building planets, I mean, like civilizations and stuff. Like when you think about, like I always thought it was kind of weird how on Twitter Elon Musk is like a teenage boy, and like he's just saying all these things.
taking Ambien and then tweeting.
Yeah, and so seeing things like that makes me think like, oh, this dude there's no way he's doing some like weird stuff like that, building a civilization. And maybe that's the image he wants to portray, so no one, is looking behind the scenes, seeing if he has anything diabolical going on. We just think he's super relatable.
Forget
on the show.
Elon. I think Elon's a good one. Fucking Bezos is a Bond villain, man. Fucking
Never trust a
Bezos.
bald guy,
Fucking
dude.
Bezos. Have you seen that guy? That guy's fucking a Bond villain, dude.
I've never actually seen what he
He's
looks
a
like.
fucking
He's-
Bond villain.
He's very bald, and
just a mean looking guy. Just like a fucking.
Does he have?
Think about
amazing-
army vet. Like a
All right.
bald army
Oh,
vet.
man.
all right, here we go.
We're looking up a picture of him. I'm gonna
Jeff.
describe everything Anthony's doing while doing it.
Jeff Bezos.
Google Jeff Bezos.
Oh, look at that guy, dude. He's a fucking Bond villain.
He's
that
basically
first picture.
he's a refined Vin Diesel.
hey man, if he turned out to be the Vulture though, that'd be cool.
Trust me.
Shit.
Right?
Would you trust this guy? That guy's a fucking super villain, bro. That's Lex Luthor in the flesh. That's fucking Lex Luthor.
I would not trust that.
That guy's making a breakaway
Anything.
civilization,
Oh.
and he's coming for your
Damn
job.
myself.
He's
You
coming for
heard
your
it
job.
here first on the Tapewurms Podcast.
You heard it here
Yeah.
second. Go to
This is the
Infowars.com.
resistance.
Infowars.com.
Yeah, check up on us in the following months. If we go missing,
You already know who
Yeah.
it is.
we just wanted to expose the truth. We're
Yeah.
gonna have to hide it. We're Snowden right now.
Oh shit.
All right, so let's get into it. After
Good
Jeff Bezos, we have Fred from Sunset Couriers here. We're here to talk about music, guys. Let's not forget our roots here. Come on.
Yeah. You can't automate music unless you're.
I don't know about
Unless you're
that.
Elon Musk, you can't automate music.
All right. So we talked to you a few weeks ago. How's life been since?
It's been all right, man. Honestly, just like a lot of like thoughts. Quit smoking for a little bit, like, cause I don't really drink or smoke cigarettes. I do blaze it though, and it's more like for sleep. It's been alright. Just a lot of like family stuff. So I'm like,
How's the music been? You're recording new stuff, right?
yeah, it's already done, and we're just waiting for masters. So we're gonna release one at the end of the month,
Nice.
and one in the summer, man. We're trying to do like a little hashtag, like Sunset Summers or Summer Sunsets
Oh shit, that
2018.
sounds dope.
I like it.
Yeah,
I
the
can
whole
get behind
point,
that. I can get behind that.
you'll like the new songs then, because the whole point is like enjoying things while you can, because I don't know, just some of the stuff that's happened to me recently. I think it's actually helped me write some of my most hopeful songs. So I'm just really excited for people to hear it.
Yeah, I've kind of noticed that like you've had like an arc of like your songs are kind of getting more positive in a way. Like I noticed from Cloudbreakers, it's like since then, I guess there seems to be like more, I guess, hopefulness or some sort of themes. Is that conscious, or are you like trying to write more, I guess, positive lyrics or?
Yeah, well, trying to accept the truth of like, you write what you want to capture the feeling as, and sometimes you look back at your lyrics and like, I could have been a little bit more hopeful. At least that's what I think. So for sure, like our first demo, there's a lot of songs that try to capture the feeling of like loss and like they're a little grungy, a little bit like not a lot of hopefulness in that songs, but some of the new songs are very like, you know what, let's just keep going.
Nice.
Yeah, there's like a light at the end of the tunnel sort of deal.
Yeah, because I mean that's I took down Cloudbreakers,
Oh wait, you took it down?
Yeah, you took down.
I took down a lot of music, man. I left Water Tower up there because a lot of people bump 5 a.m. and I just can't do that to them.
Yeah.
We are recording the Water Tower, a lot of those songs, and you'll see them at the end of the summer. But I'll leave it up for another month for a couple of homies. I didn't realize how much it affected people, but they were like, oh, we usually bump 5 a.m. or Galactic.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
so
man.
what's that decision of why are you taking it down?
I don't feel it represents us anymore for the most part. At least there's some songs we want to rewrite and structure and mess around. Usually those first 8 songs we ever wrote. And with Water Tower, there was someone we just don't work with anymore. So it's like we just I've gone through like 2 different lineups, so I'm kind of.
Well, it's weird because like you're like the founding, you're like the core of Sunset Couriers. So it's like, do those songs just like not feel true to you, or is it? Since I don't want to say it's a solo project, but you're like the core member. You know what I'm saying?
I feel that, yeah. They still ring true. I mean, Galactic is my favorite song to play. And that's just because the biggest thing that gets in the way for me communicating with other people is I'm very abstract minded, and I found that out. Like, I went to the school counseling sessions because I was so stressed out with school when I went to Cal State Long Beach, and it was pretty tight. But she noticed like patterns in my speech and thought patterns, and she was like, "Well, there's like a spectrum, and like in that spectrum, like 80% of people, or like 70, 80, they're very like, it's a little bit more direct. It's a little bit more concrete. It's concrete thinking.
Right.
And then there's like a 20 to like 10%. And within that abstract thinking spectrum, I'm still all the way towards the end. So I'm very abstract.
Yeah.
So like how people connect the dots is not how I connect the dots. And that's something like, because I love talking to people. It's like I fuck up along the way and I'm like, man, and I just lose people. So Galactic's my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
That song will always ring true, and like it's playing between metaphors and me trying to like flick the lights. I'm going home because when I go out, I end up alone. It's like you hang out with your
shit.
friends, but you
Shit,
end up
man.
alone.
Yeah,
That was
Harmon,
some
you
deep
would
shit.
love
Yeah.
Sunset Couriers,
Yeah,
dude. They,
I feel like
yeah,
Yeah, dude, fucking, like you can't. Sometimes you just feel like you're almost thinking on a different frame than other people,
Yeah,
right?
and you want to connect. It's not
It's-
like
yeah,
hey,
you want
know?
to try, but you're just in another world almost, right?
And yeah, and there's like people who don't, but like for me and like others, probably you too, if you like, you want to connect, you know?
Yeah, you want
wanna-
to, but you just can't for some reason.
Yeah, or it's just like batting average. You have a low batting average. You're like, fuck. At least they got one thing that I
Yeah,
meant. Just,
yeah,
you know?
yeah,
Like,
exactly.
fuck.
Exactly,
you
man.
mean.
Shit.
yeah.
Yeah, I'll definitely listen to that song, man.
Well, it'll be up for another month, and then it'll come back in the summer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wait, so you're leaving too soon? Is that down?
I'm gonna leave them.
That one's okay.
Yeah, I want to re-record that one at some point too, but
Mhm.
I really liked how it was leveled and everything, and I felt, you know what, this one could stay in place.
Yeah.
Sounds pretty tight.
Yeah, that one's like the banger, you know.
Yeah, dude, I
Like,
felt that.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
you talk about shifting members. So, is there is like a new lineup right now?
We made Danny a permanent like a couple weeks ago,
Mhm.
just because I've worked with people before, and like
Mhm.
usually it's like, oh, you know, they should always be a homie, but I'm like, no, like Danny was really cool, and we met him randomly. Like I just went to a random East LA house party.
Yeah.
I saw him play because I tried to book him for a show before, and they're like, hey, he plays in Safety Pins. you
Oh,
know,
for
that's
sure,
his thing.
for sure.
The surf punk band, and along the way we made Danny like more present, and like we stopped using the word filling in. About a few weeks ago, we're like, hey man,
Yeah.
you're the permanent, but this is what we expect, and now we know you can handle like being around me and Kevin. Sometimes we just do weird shit, and like if someone's too serious, it's like, you know.
Yeah.
But we also talk about serious shit, you know.
No, I
But,
know what you
like,
mean. Yeah,
yeah.
it's
It's like
as a band,
balance.
like as permanent, you got to be like have like a sort of you got to be tight knit in a way. You can't.
Yeah, there has to be a bond for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. It's
Can't
bond.
just
It's like
be randoms thrown in.
a band is also like a friendship, you know.
I mean,
It's-
naturally you bond, though. What do you think?
Over
yeah.
time.
Yeah, I mean, bonds, the struggle in order to what brings people together are struggles. I read
Mhm.
that it's like a relationship thing.
It's true.
Yeah, like I feel you because what Group Love, they met on Craigslist, and look
Yeah.
at them, dude. They're like,
They're banging.
yeah,
I
dude.
love you then, and I love you now.
Naturally, like any hardship will bring you together.
Yeah.
Exactly, like
I have
anything.
I have a question about original Sunset Couriers.
Mhm.
When you started off, like how many guys was it? Or
It was 4.
4.
Yeah, which we're looking for a lead guitarist now.
Mhm.
We're just like looking for either homies who could like fill in for a while, or we'll make like a decision on a permanent. We'll probably do the same like 6-month trial, like something, you know, dude.
Yeah, I was gonna ask about that. Like something I guess happened that things fell apart. Whether it was like problems or just sometimes things just naturally
Yeah.
distance. But do you think like it sounds like you're doing trials and stuff because you're trying to avoid something that happened in the past? Maybe like do you think it's your
Pretty
approach is
much,
like
man.
smarter right now?
A little bit. It's a lot more cautious because before I let people just jam out and like they look like they were gonna stick around, but it just didn't work out. Yeah, and usually I'm like, all right, let's do this. We're a team now. But it's like, you know what? Let's ease you into this. You know?
I noticed on your, I think it was your Instagram story or something, you were singing. I think you were recording. Was it new stuff or were you re-recording something?
Is it the new 2 single?
It was a couple weeks ago. I know you were like singing, and it was like it was like a bottom camera angle, like you're.
Oh, we were working.
I think it was
at,
with Kevin, right?
Yeah, we were working on the new 2 singles.
For
So
sure.
the first one's called Night by Night, and it's like if the Arctic Monkeys were to like mesh with Pup.
Oh,
Yeah,
I can
so
get
it's kind
behind
of a mix.
all right.
So we're really excited.
So that's one single, right? What's the second one?
We're still thinking about a name,
Mhm.
but that one's just about change and just memories, and it's very like how do I explain it? It's like modern baseball meets the Strokes. That's what my bassist said. So it's this very indie and like sort of like punky kind of mix, you know?
Yeah.
Or like we fuck with a lot of emo. Like my
Oh, yeah.
bassist like loves pop punk emo, and I love emo and indie rock and like
Yeah.
alternative stuff. And then
Mhm.
Kevin like he loves like heavy alternative, you know?
Yeah, for sure. For
Yeah.
sure.
I think it's kind of interesting that, like, since I guess most of your music ends up being you and maybe someone else like
Yeah.
contributing. That I think because of that, a lot of your songs end up being a lot more like you're like more emotionally connected to them. Because I feel like maybe with us, since we're like in a mass group and stuff, sometimes things just come out based on off of sound, and it's just like, oh, that's kind of fun, and then we just start building, and then there isn't really that much emotional connection or meaning even behind like some of our songs. But I know that sometimes if I'm just collaborating one on one with a person or just even on my own, that's when you write something that's like emotionally connected to you.
I mean, I feel that. That could be also emotional though. Like
Mhm.
Sonic, you're making noises, you know? So
That's
like
true.
in the end,
Yeah.
you're like
I-
sonically
I feel
piecing
like
things
whether it be
together.
lyrically or musically, I think you always want to feel some sort of personal attachment to
Yeah,
it.
like-
Oh,
Yeah.
I know when I go about how I go about writing lead parts for a tapeworms is yeah, it's sonically, but also I'm trying to like capture the feeling of the song
Mhm.
because I know most of our songs are kind of sad. You know, they have like a little tinge of emo in there. Even though we try to be a bit more like alternative indie rock. But yeah, I know I do. Even though that's not what I feel, I do try to capture that sound. You know, what we're trying to do.
Okay.
Or,
I see.
or what I interpret as what it sounds like, or what it might sound like.
Yeah.
and that's how you piece it together. See, I wish I had like a consistent full band. I just write a lot of demos in my room.
Same.
And
Yeah.
then like the homies, like they put it through their band filter and like they come out with like different sounds. And I'm like, oh man, it's way better, you know?
Yeah. So you mentioned change, and that's Night by Night. It's about change, right? Or is that your second?
That one's about just, dude, just keep doing stuff, you know? Because I see friends who always post like, oh, you know, what's the point? And I'm like,
Dang.
yeah, like I hear that, and like I hear that from students. Yeah, dude, the
Damn.
whole increase of like kind of like a grimmer outlook. You know, it's just the information that's out there. It's overwhelming, and we still don't know how to process it. Like someone could tell you something, but you know, where were you there? You're just not ready to process it sometimes, you know, and you don't have that guidance.
Yeah.
And like sometimes I would want guidance, you know. I could think back now. I could think back like I think back then. I could think back now. I think now. You know, sometimes I'm just like I need guidance because I don't know how to take in all this information. You know.
I know what you mean. Yeah. I know what
Yeah.
you mean.
So it's like I could see why people are stressed because that's like a stimuli,
Mhm.
and like it forces you to do something, but you're just like I don't know what the fuck to do. You know. But anyways, night by night's like. We could take this night by night.
Mhm.
If it's steady, it's not mine. You know?
That's the lyric I heard you singing in
Yeah.
the story. Yeah.
If it's steady, it's not mine.
Yeah.
So that's what it's trying to say. Like, if it's going well, it's not.
If it's too like straight, like if it's too like
It's too
Structured.
There's no games. There's no fun.
there's no fluctuations,
Yeah.
and my life is like full of fluctuations. Personally, I'm always like, you know, I haven't kept a job. This is like my first job in education. I finally kept that for like 2 years, but other
Right.
jobs I'd hop like after a year is done. I'm like, all right, cool. I did it for 1 year, or other things, you know. Like there's a lot
Damn,
of
that's crazy.
fluctuations, and there's fluctuations that you're not in control
Do you
of.
think that's unhealthy or healthy?
You know, if you know how to process it, it's healthy because you know how to cope with it,
Mhm.
and you're not letting it affect the lives around you so negatively. But it could be very unhealthy. So there's like pros and cons. But
Yeah.
pretty much.
So do you feel like how much have you really changed since you started the project of Sunset Couriers?
I know how to lead now. Dude, yeah, when I started, it was like 3 other people who were leaders in their bands. And I was like, hey, I want to play with you guys. And like, I mean, they were like, well, in the end, it's your vision. But like working with 3 other leaders, they would like kind of want to lead their own way. And like, eventually they started their own projects.
Yeah,
and
you
that's
kinda
cool.
clash sometimes if it's too
Yeah.
much ego.
Well, one, like my best friend was my drummer. And he really needed to focus on school. And like,
Oh,
he
yeah.
finally went to Cal State and like, he has 1 more year, but yeah, I barely seen him this like semester, and that's how things have changed. He's just like he's really committed.
Yeah.
He's just like, sorry man, I gotta study, like legit. And I'm like, all right, cool. He lives down the street too, so I'm like, yeah, but that's great,
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, and
It's
then-
all for the better though, right? Yeah. All moving towards
I guess he just kind of took care of himself in the end. You gotta take care of yourself.
yeah, man. Which like all the other homies, there's only one guy I wasn't cool with, and I don't talk to him. But everyone else was like, hey man, I hope you're doing all.
Yeah.
It's like it's the whole point. I'm like, fuck, Yeah, I don't know if you noticed that if I like, there was a Joe Strummer podcast, and he's like one of my biggest influences. Maybe not sonically, but like spirit wise, because it was the most important thing I've seen in my life. And I was just like a young 17, 18-year-old. I was just like punk, I had like a mohawk or I had the psychobilly
The
hair.
pompadour.
Yeah, man, I switched it up.
Yeah.
I love. And one of the people, I was just like, Joe Strummer, who is that? I dig the Clash. I had their CD and everything, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna watch the documentary. At the end of that documentary, he was just like, oh, and in the end, like, all you have is people, like you can't really change that,
Yeah.
It's like without people, you're nothing. But it's just like my purpose is just like bring music to people, So I feel that more. And
Definitely.
like, that's why I'm like, well, we gotta push this, but I gotta like be smarter about shit.
Yeah, I see you pushing that podcast a lot.
Dude, I loved it because he had this vision, and even though, dude, that's crazy. So the Clash and like the Sex Pistols,
London calling.
yeah, man, they were manufactured.
What?
They were
Like
the
industry plants? What do you mean?
Not exactly. I get what you mean.
We manufactured it.
All right, so there are these 2 guys. There's one guy who was just like, all right, I'm gonna like make this group, and we're gonna make this energy, and that's how the Sex Pistols happened. And the guy who helped out was I forgot. He's the main like manager for the Clash, like on and off.
Okay.
And he was just like, you know what? If you're not gonna allow me to like do this band, I'm gonna make my own band. So it's kind of like,
shit.
so he grabbed Joe Strum. He grabbed one dude. He grabbed one of the guys didn't even know how to play his instrument, but he grabbed him because he had energy. He has a specific
For the
energy.
Clash?
Yeah, and then he grabbed Joe Strummer. He's just like, well, you shouldn't be singing in that band anymore. You have 24 hours to like think about joining this band.
Damn.
So they like locked them in a room. And he's like, all right, you guys figure it out. You guys talk to each other and meet each other.
Wow.
And like, you know what? You guys have about 8 hours.
And that's how the Clash started?
Yeah, and it was this one
What
guy's
the hell?
vision. It's like you gotta like he'd give him newspaper articles and be like, I want you to sing about what's around the world and what angers you. And that was cool because he was like, you know what? Like class struggle and everything. He sang about some real shit, you know? And like it was amazing. And when he toured around, the message got lost a little bit, but it affected certain people,
Oh yeah.
He talked about that, but that actually all started between 2 people. These 2 guys who were like, I'm gonna manage a band and I want this to happen.
I had no idea that was the backstory of the Clash.
Because you see people and they're like, oh my gosh, like these people came together and did this like really great thing. And sometimes it is one artist or 2 that bring people together. And other times it's like it's a really good manager looking out for something.
Yeah.
Wow. Sometimes like the Clash, it's a really, really well.
Yeah.
Other times it's like maybe there's an artist out there and his manager pushed them and you're like, I don't really fuck with that music,
Right. Yeah. Wow.
That's
Dang,
that's
that's-
mind blowing.
Yeah.
I love that podcast. I learned so
Yeah.
much about one of my favorite bands.
hmm
Joe Strummer, he left society and he was trying to build his own society, like live in the forest and shit. He
Breakaway
did.
Society.
Yeah.
It's all come full circle.
Oh man. But he couldn't do it. He was just like, "What am I doing?" You know, like I can't do his like voice, but like, what am I doing? You know, I have
What
to
am
get
I
back
doing?
out there. Yeah, and that's when he formed the Mescaleros, and like he did that until his like passing. You know,
Yeah.
it's like makes
Wow.
me sad. I'm like, man, I wish he just had this like brilliant, and you could see he cared about people. You know,
Mhm.
he was like wild, and he was wild. Like we were all kind of like testing our limits when we were younger. Oh, sort of.
Yeah.
No, I can
Without-
test
I
it.
read more
Yeah.
books instead of
Yeah.
doing wild shit, but
Same.
yeah, but
So we could segue this into a segment we started last one. It's called Things Bands Should Know, and it's like trying to inform anyone who might be watching this stuff about things bands should know if
starting
they
up,
starting up
just
or
tips,
tips and tricks.
Get a lawyer as soon as you can.
management.
Management. So, anything off the top of your head you can say right now?
no.
Don't
Be
you want
honest,
to I'm actually interested to hear, like, would you guys want to copyright your lyrics as soon as possible so no one can steal that shit? Or
I feel like you
Sometimes
should.
I think, yeah,
don't you want that shit like right away locked down? Because let's just say you got Silly Girl, right?
Yeah.
Great song.
Yep.
But what if Drake just wants to do his own spin on it? Do you guys have any
Dude,
legal
yeah.
battle you could do with him or no?
I think technically we are copyrighted.
oh, right.
Technically,
because of
We've already
Spotify.
published
yeah,
it.
Spotify. I think we
Spotify
Were you
took care of
kind
it
of?
for you?
with I
Spotify
don't know.
owns
Do you,
it.
what distribution service do you
I
use?
use distro.
You think
Yeah,
Spotify
yeah,
would give
so
a
do we,
fuck
so do
if
we.
Drake made his own thing? They'd be like, "Oh, we're gonna hook Drake up. Fuck you guys."
Yeah, I think DistroKid copyrights our stuff, and we have full legal defense.
Okay, good.
I'm
good,
pretty
good.
sure.
Yeah.
I hope so. Because
Yeah, we're here with the
I
resident.
don't like that
resident
full legal
lawyer.
defense. is
Want to be
followed
lawyer?
by,
Not
I'm
yet.
pretty
I will
sure.
be in 3 years. What?
I don't like that when he says we have full legal defense. It's
I'm
followed
pretty
by,
sure.
I'm pretty sure.
we have full legal
Exactly. You
defense.
gotta know, man, because some of these lyrics you guys are coming up with are pretty deep. Like some of the stuff you've told me.
Prota
Who
should be
knows?
worrying
Someone
about it.
could
He
steal.
writes some deep
Yeah.
ass
Silly
lyrics.
girl, that shit. Like play your
That-
games.
No,
Come
that
on.
shit
slaps.
That's the banger.
The
of
fucking what's the
century.
other one? The
Anytime
fucking other
anyone ever says play your games, that's Tapewurms.
Yeah, that's intellectual property. You owe us royalties. for
Yeah, man.
this.
Dude, I've gotten so many memes out of the whole your cricket smile line.
Oh,
People always
really?
freaking laugh at us for that.
Dude,
I'm like,
that's
dude, shut the
tight.
fuck up. Get the fuck out of here. Don't make
Yeah.
fun of my sad shit.
Oh, Danny's favorite lyric was like, "Cry, cry, baby." Yeah, dude. I don't know. He was like, "Oh man, that's my favorite." Just the way he says "cry, baby." I'm like, I feel that shit.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, man.
Fuck.
He was
Sometimes
bumping it on our
that's
way
it,
back
right?
from the show.
Oh shit.
I was filling in for him, and when that song came up, he was like, he was singing. He's pretty drunk.
Nice.
That's when our music is best heard. Actually.
Yeah.
Drunk?
You're drunk.
Yeah. We just had a show like last weekend that was a lot of drunk college kids, and they asked
got
for the
down.
encore for Silly Girl. And that was-
Exactly, man. That shit slaps. That shit is good because that relates to college kids. All the college girls are silly girls, man.
Yeah,
They're playing
man.
in the games.
They're always playing games.
They're playing the games. That's the song for college party.
And the guys identify with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not the girls, of course not. They're not gonna fucking tolerate that. But they'll tolerate the other one, like "Take Me Back" or whatever. What's that song? Is that a Tapeworm song?
Take me back, man.
Oh, I think this is
It's
my
all
dream pop stuff that I've been
Yeah.
recording, but
Yeah.
Yeah, we got a lot of stuff in the pipeline.
yeah.
Everything's
the
the
pipeline.
pipeline's so saturated right now with
Yeah,
everything.
we really need to release it
The
before.
pipeline is closed. Everything's going in, but nothing coming out.
That's just gonna
Yeah.
burst one day.
Yeah. We're just gonna just spam everyone on Instagram for a whole week.
Yeah, every
Five
day.
posts a day.
Every day a new single.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have a lot of content actually. We just
You have
that we've
any
been creating.
shows down the pipeline that we can announce here?
We're playing Yuri's Records on the 26th of May, and that's with a bunch of Southeast bands. And May 31st is the release show. That's at the Handbag Factory in downtown LA. It's all ages venue. We booked the lineup, which is always hard, man. Like,
Yeah.
you know, I try to switch it up. So
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
dope, man.
Have these guys told you about the wormhole?
Yeah, I went to one of the shows.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's pretty cool, man. The taco's really good. The galdo, yeah. The galdo helped, dude.
Yeah.
The sauce was spicy, bro.
That shit was too much.
You
We
heard
never
it.
made that salsa again, dude.
Why?
After
It was
that.
pretty good.
It was
I
good, but
loved
it was too much. It was too
Ah.
spicy.
There was a red salsa at one of the shows, and we warned everyone. We said, don't try the red salsa unless you eat salsa. And obviously, everyone took that as an attack. And so people were just dousing their tacos in this red salsa, and then they just passed by like dying.
man.
And I told them it's called what did I say? It's called the You Feel It Tomorrow.
Oh,
Oh, shit, you feel it tomorrow. That's how
Yeah.
bad it is, man. Fuck.
But no, we're really excited about the wormhole. We think we're trying to like use it as a recording space too, and we'll see where it goes. But
That's
we're
good,
gonna
man. You might want to
continue-
patent that real quick because you never know.
All right, Mr. Lawyer.
At the end, one of our ads in between is gonna be like Harmon Deal.
Attorney at law.
Don't lose the case. Make a deal.
Take the plea deal.
Yeah.
No, but for real, like,
What?
you don't want anyone stealing your shit, man. I'm serious. That wouldn't feel good.
Bro, patenting's like.
Would that
it's-
feel
It's
good?
not expensive.
Like someone steals your shit, bro.
Isn't it like
it's not too expensive, but it's a lot of time.
I mean,
Right.
obviously,
I would definitely
wouldn't like that.
at least make sure silly girl is locked up.
It's
man.
locked up. That's locked
Yeah,
up.
but
I'm pretty
at least
sure.
make sure that is.
Stop saying I'm pretty sure.
No, but like even if someone was to steal my shit, I'd be like, you know what? I could come up with 10 more things that are even better
No,
than
no, don't think like that, bro.
oh, we're tapped
Don't
out.
think like that,
We got
shit,
nothing
bro.
left.
Fuck that. You want to protect what you got, man.
We peaked.
Like, think about Silly Girl. It's such a good song, man. Someone steals that shit, swindles you, fuck you, bro.
Yeah, see, that's
You don't want to end up like the fucking Winklevoss twins who came up with Facebook and then
Yeah.
Zuckerberg
Bro, I
just
didn't know
stole it.
that. Yeah.
Bro, you didn't know that shit? You know what
You
social
got a
network?
point.
Those
you do
guys
have a
got
point.
robbed of billions of dollars, man.
I'll watch it tonight.
This
You
is-
could have the Facebook in your song, and someone is stealing it right
But
now.
they did dodge a bullet,
They did make a bunch of money off of settlement. So
No,
if you guys want, not as much.
and they don't have to go to court in
Yeah,
front of the
yeah.
world.
And they're not in the public eye. And now they're fucking mining Bitcoin. That's all besides the point here. It's
See,
all about the principle.
This is the kind of stuff that I feel like small bands don't think about.
I know, man. You need to think about this shit before starting it.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
it's all fun, it's all
Hey,
fun
but-
and games. It's
Yeah.
all fun and games until you got some other band playing your tunes.
Until
Right? That's what I'm saying.
Until your song becomes a Drake song.
Until Drake is fucking ghostwriting up your shit,
he's
bro.
freaking covering all your shit. No, but like honestly,
You're on a Drake voice.
I would
Drake, I love
rather-
you, man.
I
Don't
would-
take this personally. You're
Oh,
my favorite
they-
artist.
You can find his structure online. Like there's videos online. I love watching those videos.
Uh-huh.
They're usually like how to make a
Drake
song,
song.
like, or how so Drake usually has a descending vocal line, and that shit's interesting. So it'd be like, "You silly girl" or some shit, you know?
You know what?
Yeah,
Yeah, right?
they do
There
do
would
that.
be a
There's a lot of
different type.
research on that. Post Malone is great at that shit, like catchy songs.
Yeah, or
They
like
do
Back
like
to Marco.
psychological
Yeah,
research.
back to Marco. Literally,
And they get into your
Chamber
brain,
of
man.
Reflection is like he directly ripped off like a Japanese song.
You guys should look into that.
Really?
Get into
Yeah,
the brain. Get in there and just
I just pulled up a headline. The song Michael Jackson stole from Hall &
look
Oates.
at that shit, bro.
Oh,
yeah.
Michael Jackson's doing it,
It
man.
happens at every level of the music industry. Yeah,
So small indie bands, look out for your shit, man.
you know we should get on
if
that.
you
guys.
if you
We should-
believe in your shit, if you don't believe in it, that's a sign. But if
Yeah.
you believe in it, then make sure it's protected. You know.
Yeah, they don't think about this shit because they're just trying to have fun.
Yeah.
But
But if you really believe in it and you think it's good, then make sure it's protected. You know, you never know. I mean, I'm not trying to
Never
say
know.
You never know. Like Silly Girl's a good song. It gets stolen, and you guys are like, I would feel like complete shit if I came up with something great, and someone and Post Malone is just fucking vibing out to his country guitar, drinking Bud Light, singing your fucking song. You know,
On
That's
a
what,
boat.
that's when we take to Twitter though, and we try to
All
get
right,
some like
yeah,
justice.
I'm pretty sure we're fully.
Kim Kardashian becomes a lawyer.
he's pretty sure you could get Kim representing you, man. No, I'm just kidding though, but I mean, you can always settle and make some.
Yeah,
money.
Yeah, I do have something now.
yeah, go for it.
Schedules, man.
Ooh,
Schedules.
Yeah, for sure.
Most important. Do not let anyone hold you back. For sure. Like I heard that at this guy who owned a studio. We used to practice there over in I forgot where, like South Bay. And he was like, friends don't hold each other back. And why would you let someone you like are kind of friends with hold you back? Why would you let anyone hold you back? Doesn't mean you have to step over anyone, you know. And sometimes that works too, but that's not really my approach.
That's a really good point, man.
What does he mean by don't let them hold you back? Like play the show even though they can't come, or just
You
kick
know,
them
if you're
out
trying
and-
to make creative decisions, or if you are trying to play shows and this person keeps saying, hey, I can't make it, or this comes up, or you know what, I got a family party, it's a little hard, man.
Yeah.
Because let's say you got two members that are very like, well, let's keep this consistent, you know. Because playing shows like consistently, it doesn't have to be like super crazy. Like some people do the 6 shows a month,
Yeah.
and other people just do 1 show a month, but they have other creative content going on. So it's like a mix, but friends don't hold each other back. Like if a friend is half in it, you can feel that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so it's like unless you're a solo artist and you're the entire creative force, but at some point you do have someone kind of leading it. And let's say I lead the group a little bit more. If I feel any of my members are like kind of half in, it slows it down. I feel it where like it's hard to make decisions, or when I make decisions, it's like, well, ooh, you can't bring anything up, you know, if you're gonna like not be there presently, you know. So it's kind of hard.
Right.
And
Well,
I've
yeah.
seen that hold people back, dude.
Yeah.
I've seen it. I've seen it. There's so many bands where I'm like, I thought they were gonna like stick it together for a while. And Sunset's only been like around for 2 years, but in those 2 years, I see what some of the older musicians mean, and they're like, you know what? A lot of bands come and go. It's like a little wave, and you see who sticks around. And I'm like, fuck.
Well, I think something you mentioned, it's like through these past few years, you've learned to be like a leader, you said. And I think part of being a leader is sort of making those executive decisions. Apart from, I guess, the people who are half-assing it, or I mean, it takes. I know
If you're making a band, you better have a passion for it, man. Like this person better be as passionate as you. I don't care if they're your friend or whatever. Like for anything, they better want it as bad as you do. That'll push you as much as anything. Is passion like around you, and even the people around you, like your friends and your family, they should be supportive. They shouldn't be bringing you down or making jokes or whatever, man. Like it should all be positive around you. Negativity kills, man. Negativity kills. And when someone's not in it, that's a sign of negativity. Because what, do you not believe in the vision? Do you not believe? Is that what you're trying to get at, Fred? Or
Well, sometimes they're just pulled by different things in
like
life,
different
too.
things in life, right? I mean,
Yeah.
it's out of their control, right? But it's just like you guys are making the effort. I'm sure you guys got shit going on.
Yeah,
Like,
we
exactly.
Everybody does.
Everyone's got shit going on. It's your job. Like it's something, you know, you got to have some honor to what you do. That's my opinion, you know, as a lawyer. Like if another lawyer wasn't showing up to the case, fuck you, man. It's your job. It's
I got
something
a
you should
family
take.
party.
Something you got to take seriously, you know. That's what I think. Anything you do, you should take seriously.
In like your leadership development, have you seen like any of your like your skills of persuasion and maybe molding of others develop? Because like I guess in the case of people, you know, not being fully in it, like in many cases, people start off being in it and then they waver and then they start being super in it again.
Well, what makes you waver, you know? Like, what made me want to quit music a couple of times is I just don't feel like I am understood. and you just gotta keep pushing through. And like one of my strengths is, I went to school for writing. Like some of my lines, I just take pride in it. And the chords hard, I know it's just a song about boning and like being in love. Like it's straight up like scream my name. But that as a chorus, like it may be funny, but like that intimacy that comes with it, like I'm more of a serious
It's your
dater.
craft.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like I made those moments for a reason.
Exactly.
And like, we could be playful about it, but it's also serious, and it's a mix of both. So what kept me going was like, hey, I'm gonna write a demo.
Yeah.
And that's my strength, is just like, hey, I'm gonna write like a really, sometimes cringy, sometimes it's like, all right, that's cool for now.
Yeah.
Like I made a cringy demo. Like I wrote 3 songs and like guitar licks and like loose like lyrics and vocal melodies. Vocal
Yeah.
melodies are important.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, but sometimes people waver because you don't know your strengths. It's like, I'm an excellent musician. Like, what makes you excellent? For me, I was like an okay lead guitar player, but I could come up with melodies, and that was my strength. So when I played with my last band, which was like a skate punk band, I was just like, you know what? When they asked me to like shred, I'm not gonna fucking do that. Like, I'm gonna approach it how I'm gonna approach it. And if I need to shred a certain way, like I'll approach that, because you get people who just fucking shred on stage. But what do you exactly see? What do you exactly see? Like you see the strength, but I always think about it like individual. That was like a Greek term, right? I'm trying to remember. And this is something I learned from our theater class when I went there.
Yeah.
When they spoke about that, it's how is this person in the whole? So individual, you, a single person,
Right.
as the whole, because we are all individuals, but as a whole, we create this specific thing. So
Yeah.
like I know like when sometimes people waver, other things pull them in life that do suit their strengths. But there's also things in the music that also pull you that could be your strengths. Like some people know how to do groovy. Some
Yeah.
people know how to do like punk beats, like there's different energies people can produce.
Mhm.
Like, am I gonna get, we jammed out with this jazz drummer before, not the same energy, but it was cool. It's cool playing
Yeah.
like a show with them. Totally cool, but not the same energy. And I was like,
Right.
well, if I ever need an emergency fill in, that'd be cool. But the strength from Kevin's drumming is that he approaches it like a story.
Yeah.
So every drum hit, he knows how it's going to affect people, and he's trying to push it.
Mhm.
And he's like, oh, I'm not a technical drummer. It's like you're trying to play with emotion and trying to connect the feeling. So certain specific cymbal hits or the shit gets you rumbling, or if you're
Right.
trying to go like you're like kicking back, you're creating a mood.
Yeah.
So that's why I was always like, you're great, Kevin,
Yeah.
and
Dude, this reminds me of the whole issue that Megadeth had. I don't know if you know this, but the lead guitarist during the Countdown to Extinction days was Marty Friedman, right? And he wrote a whole bunch of cool albums for them, and Megadeth loved them and shit. And he fit the scene, the metal scene, the thrash metal scene, but the scene didn't fit for him, and he started like doubting whether he should be in Megadeth or not, because I remember he would say a lot that he liked writing more flowy licks and more like virtuous shit instead of just like chugging the whole time on guitar. And so that's why he left the band. He was all like that the whole thrash metal scene just wasn't for him, even though he was good at it and shit. And like Megadeth like tried fighting tooth and nail to keep him, because he's a great fucking guitarist, he's like an idol of mine that I look up to and shit. But yeah, and that just reminds me of everything you're saying right now. Like sometimes freaking just the feel isn't right for certain musicians and like certain scenes, certain bands.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's because they're playing to their like.
It's like a salad, you gotta have all
You're
the
trying to like
ingredients in there.
force you. If you were to get that jazz drummer, you'd be like forcing him.
We
in
read.
there, and it just
We
wouldn't
read
feel
different.
right.
Yeah.
Is that the third piece of advice? Like, sort of know yourself.
And the band.
Yeah, know your strengths because that's what's gonna keep you
The
winning.
first advice is legal. The second advice is
Yeah.
make sure everyone is bought in, and the third one is no.
I was gonna add this
Yeah.
one we're saying is also too. I guess something I got out of what you were saying is as a leader know who you can manage, because I guess in some cases you get someone and you can tell they really like the scene, they fit really well, but they maybe doubt themselves, and you're like, no, you're like you're saying with your drummer, maybe he's like, he doesn't consider himself a technical drummer, but you think like, yeah, like he is molding the song.
Yeah.
But there are some people that, like, let's say Marty Friedman, like he was saying, he joined the band and maybe the band tried to mold him and say, no, you do fit the scene, stay, but sometimes you can't manage people like that as a leader. It's just, you just gotta know which people to let go, which you can convince the scene is for them, I guess.
Yeah.
Not convince them, just show them something they're not seeing, I guess.
Because and there's some people who are just great about what they do, but they got terrible energy. Like, I've seen people and they're just like, they've shit talked bands, and I'm like, hey, those are the homies. And it's just like, and there's a lot of people I don't talk to anymore.
Yeah,
And
what's the point of being negative towards anyone else? Like, shouldn't you just be focused on your own thing?
It's one-upsmanship, bro.
Like, what's the point,
Try to feel
though?
good.
It's not a
about
leverage flex. It's just
I
a
mean,
play.
it's just like at that point, like,
And then
if you have an audience, you have a following, that's all you should really want. Like,
at the most simplest, yeah.
who's counting at a
That's-
certain
yeah.
point, right?
But there's different effects your music can have. Like, do I want my music to like be like, hey, let's go fucking do drugs all the time. Let's go do this shit. And it's like I like smoking out. Sometimes like my lyrics are about being high, but I do talk shit when I'm like, is that all you're gonna like push? So sometimes
Smoking weed.
I'm
Is that what you're saying?
or just like doing drugs, be like, all right, cool, There is like a time and place, and like everything has its like
I mean,
value,
I mean,
Right.
it's good to diversify, you're right, but
At the simplest,
like you shouldn't. If someone's
like,
all they're talking about is smoking weed, it's sort of like, why be negative to them? Like, whatever, they just want to smoke weed.
Unless you make it like your brand.
I mean,
It's
what's
like,
wrong with that?
I only
What's
smoke
wrong with
weed.
that, though?
which is
It's
like
viable.
Willie Nelson,
Will Nelson. Or have
Just
you heard of
tight.
that band?
Wiz Khalifa? That's
Co-
literally
yeah,
all
Wiz
Wiz
Khalifa,
Khalifa does.
Cottonmouth Kings.
I think what he's trying to get
Oh
to
yeah.
is what you're trying to get to is don't shit talk other bands.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
No,
Don't
never.
Don't
yeah.
put them down. Like, what's the
Exactly.
point of that?
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
all trying. First of all, nobody ain't shit. We're all trying to make it. We're all trying to do shit.
Yeah, I remember we were talking to Green Interstate about sort of this topic the other week, and they're like, "Yeah, get off your high horse. Like, we're all just trying to make it. We should all be,
One love,
hopeful of
dude.
each other. Yeah, 'cause
Exactly,
in the end,
exactly.
all that
In anything.
negativity is just gonna bring us the whole scene down.
It's gonna bring you down more than
Yeah,
anything,
that's true.
because the people that I find that are usually negative are they're hard on other people, but they're the hardest on themselves usually.
Dang,
It's
that's right.
it's more of a
That's right.
reflection of yourself.
That's that projecting.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's
Good
good
thoughts on. Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, putting other bands down is basically one-upsmanship, right? They're all trying to feel better.
That
about
means you
themselves.
don't feel strong about yourself.
Yeah, so it's definitely some projection shit.
Yeah.
Stop,
What is that? What is that?
bro. Put that shit down, man. What the fuck's wrong with
Some
you?
nice photos.
Who is that?
Rip that shit apart.
dang, man.
Yeah.
I like. Now I was just gonna segue to Detective Pikachu.
Oh, now's the right
I'm gonna post later up, like Throwback Thursday, because I was in a. I hold it up too.
Yeah.
No, I have one of me in a Pikachu costume.
Oh,
I
nice.
fucking love that show, and like
Yeah.
I loved someone was just like what if this is like the start of the Super Smash Bros. Cinematic universe? I was like,
Oh,
shit,
shit.
dog.
That'd
Like,
be amazing.
I'd be so excited for the next 20 years. That's
Super
my
Smash
thing.
Bros. Cartoon.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
they're coming out with a Sonic live action.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh.
They're coming out with a Sonic live action Pikachu.
It looks
complain,
weird
do
as
we
fuck.
listen?
Has anyone seen that image of Sonic?
complain,
It looks
they listen,
That was
bro.
the conspiracy, was that they made a botched version just to like stir up hype.
Probably.
And it's just like,
Yes, they agreed too quickly to change it because they agreed to change the.
Yeah. Otherwise, I wouldn't give a damn
And
that
keep
the
a
movie's
release
coming
date.
out.
Yeah.
They're keeping the release date the same. So I was like, are they gonna overwork them? What's going on?
It's like IHOP feeling irrelevant, and then they turned it to the International House of Burgers, and then everyone got pissed, and now we're all eating at IHOP.
Like this
Oh,
is
it's back
full
on.
on furry
think so, yeah.
version. Like this is panders to furries. Like what is
Yo,
this?
you
And
know,
then this
actually
is
the
actually
best.
song.
This is a complete off topic, by the way. The best, the best Mortal Kombat player in the world is Sonic Fox,
Oh yeah,
and he dresses up like fucking Sonic the Hedgehog.
yeah. He's a
Like
good
he will
Like
fucking go to
like this
tournaments, and he will fucking wear that mascot outfit, bro.
It's kinda
When he
cool.
wins, he'll like celebrate, and he'll put the fucking hat on, bro.
Wait, he's not a character.
He'll put the
Sonic Fox.
no, it's a player. It's a
That's
real life
oh,
guy.
it's a competitive-
It's a real life guy who dresses up
Look at
like
this,
this,
though.
bro. And
Look at
isn't-
this.
and he is fucking crazy.
Look
dude.
You know what?
zoomed
It
in.
depends on who the audience is for. If the audience was for us, then
If
definitely
the audience
second
was
one.
Sonic Fox, his fucking dick is
Like-
gonna be hard right now.
like,
watching that
If
shit.
that's our audience, then if it's a new generation of children about to be introduced to Sonic, they don't know the difference.
Yeah,
Like,
they
he just
don't.
looks soft and
They
fluffy.
don't.
Wow.
Yeah, that's
Wait,
not
the
mine.
one on the left is the new one.
Yeah,
Yeah, this is the redesign. The one on the right's the redesign.
Oh, that's dope.
yeah, but look at the one on the left. Looks way
The
too
left
human.
one is fucking weird, but
It
the
looks
right
like
one's
a
chill.
human in this fucking
Bro,
Sonic
the-
suit.
the
It looks
right-
like the MK
Sonic
guy.
Fox. It looks like Sonic
He's
Fox.
a furry. Is that what you're saying?
Yes,
He's a furry.
that's what I was trying to say
not,
the whole
not that there's
time.
anything wrong.
He's
with
a furry
Yeah.
who fucking wrecks shit in MK.
Shit.
He
dude.
wrecks people up, bro. Google him,
I
bro.
wonder-
Sonic Fox.
Do you
got
know? Do
time
you know
for an
which?
intermission?
Sonic Fox
Yeah,
5000,
okay.
man.
I gotta take a leak.
All right.
We're looking
We
up
can-
Sonic Fox
we can-
5000.
Actually, we could probably
You-
wrap it up.
Yeah.
we could wrap it
We're
up.
wrapping it
Yeah,
up
we
on
can actually.
Sonic Fox 5000.
Yeah.
We ending on a Sunset Couriers song.
Yeah. Okay. So
Bro,
we
you
could
took
do
down
this one of
RXR,
two
bro.
ways. We could either play it over the speaker. Let's just do that. Let's. play
No,
over the
just plug it in.
Yeah,
We
it was
Play
like,
that,
oh,
play that
let's
one
do
from
both.
earlier.
Let's
The I
do
don't
live,
fit in, but
and then we
like,
could put it.
the one where you're about
post.
like
And-
every night
Galactic?
out. I try and
Okay.
you play that shit, man. That was
Alright.
some dope
Called
shit.
Galactic
what song are we
Scream.
gonna listen to? Galactic.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, we
put on
talked about it so
Galactic.
much that I want to hear it now when I'm driving home.
Yeah.
I feel like I already did listen to
I
it.
always
think
jam RXR at work, but
I added a bunch
Oh,
of your
no.
songs to my alternative shit playlist. So I probably listened to a lot of your songs, but I don't even know it's Sunset Couriers.
Yeah,
It's just I have
speaking
a
of
playlist of like
playlists,
300 songs.
go to our Tapewurms. Also have a playlist, public playlist. You can go to our Spotify, and we have playlists that you can listen to that are curated by the band ourselves.
It's all the songs that have been mentioned or not mentioned, but like played on the Tapewurms podcast.
Yep, it's all there.
So we're just adding them to the
This
playlist.
next one will be Galactic Screen. Yeah, you want to talk about this? You mentioned a little bit about, but
Well, it'll
Here we
come
go.
back at the end of the summer. So for everyone asking, why are you taking it down? It was surprising a number of people.
I mean, do you want to do one of your newer songs if that would be better?
this
or-
I remember. This is
oh, I don't
this,
have those yet.
this
Oh, okay.
picture.
Wait for
This
the masters.
this Indie Fest picture. This is the first time I saw your band play ever. This is the
Oh,
first
yeah.
time I saw you ever, and it was like what, last summer?
Wasn't I convinced? that they
Oh,
would
you're
do
right. It was the end
Yeah,
of summer.
Yeah, yeah.
That's cool, man.
Here we are. We had to Photoshop Gatos in.
That's
But-
right.
Yeah.
Photoshop?
I think it's more Snapchat. This is like Snapchat. But here's Galactic Screen. We're a Tapewurms Podcast. Thanks, Fred from Sunset Couriers. Check out Sunset Couriers. They'll have a bunch of new songs out by the end of summer. They're an awesome band. We love them. And here's Galactic Screen to close us out.
When it's slow, I can't stand it. Down the sheep that feels so stranded. Did you make your point, but you have to repeat it? Was it worth the trouble if they already see it? Can you see in galactic stream? Was I hoping to find go and make those metaphors. Doesn't come close to what is out of. I miss your nights of chips at 1 a.m. To sing and to simple and to write the text. Can you see like this? What's I looking to find? Do you know what I mean? Make the lights, I'm going home. Cause when I go out, I end up home. Make the lights, I'm going home. When I go out, I end up home. When I go out, I end up home. I want to say so much, but it's not coming out how I want it to. And I use it, and I feel it. I want you to understand, but I can't even find a way. Can you see it in the galactic space? Was I looking too far ahead? You know what I mean? Can you see it in the galactic space? Was I looking too far ahead? You know what I mean?
Hell yeah. All right. And then thanks for listening to the Tapewurms Podcast. We're called Tapewurms. And remember, keep it wormy. All right.
Did you add it to it? For now.